Hello everyone, my name is Rage, and with all of Overwatch abuzz with Sombra hype, as well as all the other awesome stuff announced at BlizzCon, I think it's only fair we really delve deep into the character and see what makes her tick, and we're gonna do that by analysing to the extreme the cinematic that introduced her. But before we do that, it only makes sense that we start at the beginning and go over how Sombra came to be. So she was known as Redacted before Sombra when she was a little girl. She was just a random child growing up in Mexico, but then the Omnic crisis happened and, you know, everything she knew and loved got kind of destroyed a little bit, and she became an orphan, along with thousands of other kids around the country. But the thing is, with Sombra, surprisingly, she honestly seemingly took it quite well. She delved into the one skill that she had, which was hacking, and she hacked and hacked and hacked anything that she could get her hands on. Hell, as a little girl, her skill was so great, she helped the Los Muertos, the rebellion gang against Lumerica, which she's already got us to help her incite a successful rebellion against, and she was helping them with the tech side of things. It's the same gang that Soldier fights in his. So as she grew up, she got more and more obsessed with hacking, finding out the truth in the world. She really developed this ethos, this firm belief, the very core pillar of her being, that information is power. Who holds the information holds all the card, and she basically went on a string of manipulating people and securing her position. But one day, as these things tend to do, it went horribly wrong, and she got noticed and shut down. This caused her to erase all trace of herself from everywhere she could think of. She went into complete hiding, and then went through a little bit of an upgrade process, and this is one of the coolest things about her character. This is what gives her this seemingly telekinetically powered control of technology, what lets her just touch a device with her fingers and assume dominion over it. She has this technology implanted into her body. Her glowingness is actually coming from this tech underneath her skin and flowing through her like ley lines of power. And that is what she generates outwards when she tendrils onto something. She really has become one with the hack. And I think this one is interesting, because if she's decided that she wants to be able to hack terminal-less, she doesn't need a computer or anything like that, she can hack whatever, wherever, with her fingertips. Surely this means, as we see, she's got tech in her body. Wouldn't that paranoid the crap out of her, that she could get her actual internal systems hacked? So I think there's one or two things here. She's either supremely confident that nobody is even close to her in hacking skill, and it would take someone on her level to threaten her internal workings, or this is the one fatal flaw of her character that might very well be explored later as a certain plot twist. And then we see her eye up Lumerico for her little rebellion. I say little, it destabilized the whole country against them that we unwittingly helped with, and very much a nod to the whole ARG here. And now that she was hacking on the go, she developed sudden prowess with martial arts and weaponry and general battle tactical awareness in order to infiltrate places and get information, in order to find out, as she puts it, who really runs the world. She has this spiraling web of connections, and she is convinced she could eventually trace this back to one person, group, corporation, etc. that is pulling the strings behind everything, almost a global conspiracy, if you will. And then she states that she wants to be then in charge of that, find their weakness and assume control. But at the same time, do we really agree with that? I talk about it a little bit later when we analyze the cinematic, but I honestly feel like Sombra's goals aren't ever going to be explicitly told us, at least not for a while. I think it's almost too simple of a goal. Control the world of information? Yeah, it kind of fits, but to me, it seems not her style. She likes being this enigmatic Sombra. I don't know, it's just to me, ha ha, I am Sombra, supreme leader of the world, but from the shadows. Maybe it is her, but it just seems too, I almost want to say, basic. Maybe I'm overanalyzing this, as, you know, I certainly am, but that's the fun of it. But I have a feeling that as she has definitely fourth wall broken with treating us as part of the Overwatch universe and getting us to help with the AIG, I honestly don't think we can trust anything narrated by Sombra herself. I think she could straight up be lying to us, the players, in all of this backstory, so I think we should take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, that's the very much TLDR on how she came to be. So we catch up to her helping Widowmaker and Reaper, and to their latest assignment. Let's go over it. So to the present day then, and her cinematic reveal, which does confirm she is a member of Talon, and we see her on a mission with Reaper and Widowmaker, and that mission is to infiltrate Volskaya Industries and assassinate the CEO Katya, which obviously would be a huge blow to Russia, as she is the frontrunner in anti-Omnic defenses. She's responsible for the giant mechs on Volskaya that are there to enforce the peace, and recently the factory has ramped up production based on the stirrings and unrest with the Omnics. A big part of that is thanks to Talon. For example, their assassination in the King's Row cinematic. Their ultimate goal seems to be start another human Omnic war. ¿Por qué? No sé. But it will be definitely interesting finding out. So obviously, taking down someone who is a pillar of an entire country's defense against such a threat, pretty effective. So Talon, you know, being right bastards. So Katya is walking around inspecting stuff while Widowmaker and Reaper do their thing, and Sombra stealths over using her thermoptic camo and hacks into this console in order to disable a door for Reaper. However, then we get a lovely, charming bit of characterization, if we hadn't already got the cocky, really powerful hacker that's never been challenged attitude across in the beginning. We have her just generally fuck with Reaper by opening the door just a tiny bit and then closing it again, which I just love, and this instantly reinforces that she's more with Talon just for giggles and maybe a ulterior motive than she is evil, dude, evil, which I really, really like. And the thing is, this is also borne out through her origin story that we talked about before this. She is very much a person who is only out for themselves. She seems like someone who would never truly trust someone else, displays this external image of cocky, indomitable hacker that knows everything you don't want her to know, and because she has this mentality, someone who truly, with the very core of her being, believes that information is power, she's never going to give information to other people, no matter who they are, because somewhere down the line, that might heavily backfire. So really, why is she with Talon? Well, it actually is quite clever and makes a lot of sense. Talon want to destabilize major organizations and governments that are keeping Omnic-human relations in check. To do this, they have to infiltrate these places and do said destabilization, either hacking, assassinating key targets, or just destroying the place, or stealing objects, etc, etc. So what does Sombra do? Well, she sees that they are getting into these places, they have the infrastructure for that, so she joins up, she goes with them, she helps them carry out their job, yes, but on the side, she's very much using this opportunity to hack into these places' systems and work towards her own life goal of uncovering this air quotes global conspiracy, finding out the true power in the world, her somewhat obsession, which is awesome. The idea that she is truly using Talon as a stepping stone. She is a very nicely characterized character, and indeed is another major reason for her not wanting to support Talon in their main goal, which I will go over a bit later. So after she's finished messing with him, which is just lovely, they have to dodge various automated defenses, and Widowmaker starts lining up her shot, as she tends to do. So the CEO herself then is inspecting a brand new mech. It's the first time in a long time they actually have a new version of mech, and the cannons that these mechs are toting, in case you're wondering, are a more heavy-duty version of the one that Zarya carries into battle. That's why her weapon's such a big deal. It's supposed to be mounted on heavy machinery. So just before she's about to get shot in the face, the alarm goes off, alerting everyone to a threat. I wonder who set that alarm off. So this causes Widowmaker to miss her shot, and the CEO to obviously get bundled to a hopefully safe place while Reaper throws down with the robot. Now, he of course is getting denied by this robot, meaning that the mission now is all down to Sombra, because he, for some reason, has lost the ability to just go into mist and fly past it. And this gives her the spotlight. And I think, honestly, this is very much what Sombra wanted, because we've established she's not just a typical Talon agent. There is no way in hell that she shares the goal of Talon. We saw from her origin that she was one of the children that was just devastated, have their lives turned upside down by the Omnics. I don't think she would be in a position where she would want to incite another war. I think Sombra is definitely a character that embodies the do the right thing using all the wrong methods, if that makes sense. So we see her do a little bit of a climby, and unfortunately she can't do that in game, but given everything else she can do, she might as bloody well be able to, and start heading up using her hacking. So this is effectively her using her actual hack ability to take control of this lift, and there is one thing I really like about it. To be fair, there's a lot of things I really like about it. I mean, just having internal body technology, willpower, tendril control, copyright, is just super awesome design-wise, but it's mainly the fact it looks like they're being corrupted by these purple Sombra nerves that burrow into the very core of its being. It's a shame that in-game we don't see these purple tendrils spread through things that she's hacked in a really pronounced way. Can you imagine if she was actually allowed to hack Zenyatta himself and just make him kind of shut down, really mess with the very soul of his being covered in purple? I'm kidding, of course. Robots don't have souls. And she uses her hack ability to rocket herself up this lift to catch up with the CEO. But obviously, we gotta see her do a little bit of combat, and she starts throwing down with the various guards around the place. And then we see her prep her translocator beacon, and it's a very smart usage of it, because she knows it's not going to do anything offensively, but the guards don't know that, so they do get distracted, which allows her to whip out her SMG, which I don't know. Where was she keeping that? Like, can we just ask whereabouts was that, Sombra? I'm questioning where you pulled that from. Then we get a lovely little preview of just how powerful the laser these new mechs are toting. They slice through that bridge like a hot knife through an innocent victim, and Sombra is left tumbling. And then we see her do something I wish she could do in a game. Clearly she needs a hand here, and the robot is happy to help with a little bit of hacking encouragement. This lets her launch up to the platform, use her stealth once again, and get a little bit infiltratey on into the CEO's office. She appears and kind of effortlessly takes out the guards like two bronze players. This lets her get into the situation that she wants to be. But first, for those of you that worked it out, we do actually get an answer as to where she keeps her mystery SMG. She keeps it just stealthed attached to her side so people can't she's armed, which is actually a really lovely bit of characterization. It's nice that she doesn't want to seem that threatening, so she keeps her weaponry literally hidden in plain sight so she can quick draw and surprise people. It's a really multi-layered reasoning that is just really cool for character. So obviously she's about to pop the CEO, but then she's like, nah, I got a better idea. And at this point we really do get confirmation that Talon is just a means for an end. She doesn't care about their goals, she doesn't care about their members, she's just doing her Sombra thing. I will never say that again, I am so sorry. And effectively, it boils down to, I have loads of blackmail images that you are getting your supposedly advancements in anti-robot / omnic tech from, well, the Omnics, you lying bitch. I wonder what would happen if all of Russia knew. Oh ho ho ho, Sombra! twixt Dracula. And obviously the CEO agrees to her blackmail request, which is simply to become her friend. Oh, Sombra is lonely. No, it's so that she can call in repeated favors from this woman, Katya, who is in control of this massive robot manufacturing plant and has such an influential and well-loved position in Russia. So basically, Sombra is blackmailing to acquire friends in high places. Now, obviously, the question is here, what's her goal? Why is she doing this? Well, we know that she's incited a rebellion in Mexico against Lumericorp. We know that she is very anti-organization. I can only assume that eventually she's going to betray Volskaya anyway. But aside from uncovering this grand world conspiracy, what does she want? Once she uncovers it, what's the plan? I think Sombra is very interesting because despite all that's been revealed, we really know very little. What is her ultimate goal? What world state does she want? Does she even care? Does she care if there's another war, actually? Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's got past caring about how she was brought up in her childhood. Maybe she's just content to follow her own little pet project, i.e. her hacking and world conspiracy, and I don't really care what happens to achieve it. Maybe inciting that whole rebellion, destabilizing an entire country, it's just, that's a stepping stone for Sombra. Because this makes sense as well, because her obsession with hacking and uncovering this truth that developed as she grew up is very much still taken root. She will go to any extreme to figure out this ultimate, air quotes, information. And that makes her very dangerous, very scary, and a very cool character. And talking of dangerous and scary, we do actually see a very nasty side of Sombra here, because she always appears to be cocky, happy, haha, bye, you know, I'm having fun. But there is actually a little bit of nastiness under there, and you know why? You know how she boops the CEO on the nose at the end, and a lot of people are just like, that's adorable and quirky, what are you doing, Sombra? Well, actually, this is a very threatening thing to do. If we look back in the CEO's office when Sombra picks up a picture, you'll notice that there is a picture of the CEO with her kid, and the CEO is booping her on the nose. So by this act, it is basically saying, not only am I going to release all of this information, but I am making a direct threat against your kids, your family here. And that's very easy to miss, but it's a very subtle, extra nuanced bit to Sombra's character. She is actually willing to just straight threaten to shoot her children via this lovely bit of subtlety. At the same time, though, she boops someone on the nose, Sombra, and then she obviously translocates out, escapes, and she lies that the target got away, mission was a failure, and then, just to round things off, she boops us in the face. Oh, Sombra, you're such a card. And then we get just a nice little teaser of Katya having a lovely conversation with Zarya and probably hiring her to, well, enact unholy revenge against Sombra. So, yeah, how awesome is that? So yeah, there we go, an awesome set of abilities, a fairly predictably basic backstory, but interesting nonetheless, and a very nuanced character in terms of personality and their goals that they may or may not have. I think she's going to be a lot of fun finding out where she goes in the Overwatch universe from this point onwards, and I'm excited to see her interact in other characters, because I think there's something else going on here. Her fourth wall breaking, her seeming just complete shroud of mystery she wants to keep up. I think she's probably still holding something back. Unless it turns out to just be, yeah, I want to rule the world via the shadows just so I can make sure, you know, nothing horrible like the Omnic War happens again. But again, that doesn't seem her style. I think she is the true epitome of chaotic neutral. You know what you guys think? I know this was a little bit lengthy, but I really wanted to get down into the nitty-gritty and go over what I think about everything that we've seen to do with her, and I think I've probably done that. So for those of you that haven't got bored and are still here, thank you very much. I plan to do more of these in the future for newer characters, but my name has been Rage. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.